Hello everyone. Welcome back to Ruby Tarot. Thank you so much for always watching and supporting the channel. The moment you come across this video is the perfect time for you to receive this message. On this channel, I always share messages about what is about to unfold in your life. When you open your heart and trust in the positive, you are also aligning yourself with a parallel reality, one where your wishes have already come true. Today, through this tarot reading, I will help you gain clarity in your love life and move closer to manifesting your heartfelt desires. I'd like to share with you a reading with a theme, your person's feelings at this moment. Let's dive in and discover the message together. I've drawn 3 cards, corresponding to Pile 1, Pile 2, and Pile 3. Listen closely to your intuition and choose the card you feel most drawn to, then click on the timestamp in the description to go straight to your reading. Now, let's begin the reading for those of you who have made your choice. Hello to those of you who chose Pile 1. Thank you for your patience. Now I'll begin the reading for those of you who chose Pile 1. I hope this reading brings you healing, new insight, and heartfelt moments filled with love. The theme of today's reading is your person's feelings at this moment. First, let's take a look at what they're currently struggling with. As soon as I lay down the first few cards, one thing becomes immediately clear. You are at the center of their thoughts and concerns. All 3 opening cards strongly indicate that the source of their emotional unrest revolves around you, or, at the very least, the connection between you and them. The 9 of Swords has appeared, a card that represents regret, anxiety, and fear about what lies ahead. This person might be asking themselves whether things will work out in the end, or whether what they're hoping for could ever become reality. There's a strong possibility they're holding on to a sense of insecurity, afraid that the future won't unfold the way they wish it would. For some of you, I ask that you take the next message as a possibility, not a certainty. It's possible that this person feels they haven't been able to protect you, or that they failed to uphold a promise they once made. A deep sense of unease, restlessness, and guilt seems to be weighing on them heavily, as shown clearly in the cards. The next 2 cards reveal a state of impatience and inner turmoil, as if they're desperate to take action but haven't yet found a way that feels right. Additionally, I see an element related to rules or restrictions, something they must abide by. It could be that they're bound by a certain protocol, order, or circumstance that's preventing them from acting on their true desires. This is also contributing to the emotional pressure and tension they're currently experiencing. Moreover, it seems there is a distance between you and this person right now. This could be a physical separation or a sense of emotional detachment. And this very distance is something that's causing them a great deal of inner turmoil. When combining the 9 of Swords with the card symbolizing the Phoenix, I sense that this person has something they want to apologize for. Yet they haven't been able to find the right moment to do so. They want to speak, to express themselves, but there has been no proper opportunity to open up. This suppression, having something important to say but being unable to say it, weighs heavily on their heart. Finally, the Gateway card has appeared. This may indicate that they're standing at a significant emotional threshold, yet they're unable to move forward, held back by hesitation, regret, or fear. It seems they're still stuck, unable to take the step they long to take. A major reason for this is the very distance they feel, not necessarily physical but a gap in the emotional connection between you and them. And this emotional disconnection is what causes them to falter, feel uncertain, and remain unable to move ahead with clarity. Next, let's take a look at what's currently happening in this person's life. The cards show that in terms of work, things seem to be going rather well for them. They may be receiving good opportunities, or finally engaging in something they genuinely desire to do. The energy suggests that everything is beginning to flow smoothly. There is movement, circulation, a sense of rhythm. Most importantly, they feel confident that the choices they've made, particularly if there was a major career decision involved, were the right ones. I drew one more card, and it reveals that this person is currently putting in a tremendous amount of effort, so much so that it's come at a cost. And what they may be sacrificing is you. That is, in pursuit of a career goal, ambition, or a path they believe to be important, they've set your relationship aside, leaving you to bear the emotional weight. They're aware of this. But deep down, they believe they must push forward, that something must be sacrificed to reach a significant milestone. And now, they're beginning to see results. The road ahead is becoming clearer, and their efforts are starting to pay off. However, between you and this person, something still lingers. On the emotional front, it seems you're becoming someone they simply can't stop thinking about. They're starting to recognize that you are an essential part of their life, someone they can't just ignore. For some of you, This marks a turning point where they're beginning to fully acknowledge the depth of their feelings for you. On the other hand, for others, it's entirely possible that this person feels they've hurt you or caused some misunderstanding. And because of that, they're quietly yearning for forgiveness. The energy of silent apology is very present here, like an unspoken plea for understanding they haven't yet found the courage to voice. Finally, I see a clear message related to partnership and connection. It appears this person is seriously contemplating the nature of your relationship, perhaps wondering whether a deeper bond can be rebuilt. There may have been a time in the past when things between you were smooth and stable, but something has since shifted. I sense that either the relationship is entering a new phase, or this person is undergoing a profound transformation in the way they perceive you. If this is a newly formed connection, meaning you and this person have only recently met, the card suggests that they're gradually becoming more drawn to you, paying closer and closer attention. On the other hand, if the two of you have known each other for a while, perhaps as friends, colleagues, or through some familiar connection, then right now, they're beginning to see you in an entirely new light. You've become someone who stirs their emotions, someone they find themselves thinking about far more than before. Depending on the specific context, their way of expressing this might vary, but one thing is clear: you are becoming increasingly significant in their heart. Next, a blessings card appeared, yet its meaning felt unclear at first, so I drew another card to clarify. The Death card emerged. Interestingly, what followed were cards brimming with hope and renewal. Putting it all together, I sense that this person has just gone through a period of deep pain or stagnation, whether related to work, life circumstances, or perhaps even your relationship. Something heavy has just come to an end. They've recently stepped out of a dark phase, and that's exactly why the Blessings card has arrived. It's like a sign of welcome, a gentle celebration that they've finally made it through. The Ace of Pentacles shows up, heralding the beginning of visible rewards. This could relate to career success or inner growth. They've learned something meaningful, passed through a difficult lesson, and now they're standing before a new opportunity. And then, the Judgment card appears, alongside Death. This is an incredibly powerful message. Something once believed to be lost, something they had to let go of, is now returning in a renewed and more complete form. It could be a long-forgotten dream, a goal they had to set aside, or very possibly, your relationship itself, something they once thought had no more future, but which now is beginning to shine once again. So, at this moment, what's unfolding within this person is this: they've just come out of a personal crisis, and now the universe is blessing them with a fresh beginning. And that new beginning may very well include you. Next, let's explore what is truly happening between you and this person. What's unfolding within the connection you share? Once again, the cards show that something has come to an end, or at least temporarily closed. But this doesn't signify the end of your relationship. Rather, it marks the close of a particular phase or situation in one of your lives, most likely theirs, and this ending is now having a positive impact on your shared connection. It might have been an issue that once caused both of you exhaustion or tension, something that has now settled. There's a sense that something has passed, making space for peace, a slower rhythm, and easier breathing. The cards indicate that a return to emotional balance is taking place, and I feel this shift is mostly coming from their side. As their own life begins to stabilize, so too does the connection between you, becoming gentler and more soothing. The next three cards evoke the image of someone being released from pressure and busyness, someone who is finally beginning to see the road ahead. It feels as though this person has just weathered a storm in their life and is now stepping out into clearer skies. The Heart card appears, a beautifully tender sign. I feel that even if the two of you are physically apart, emotionally, your souls remain deeply connected. Both of you still carry a sense of attachment in your hearts, as if you still belong to each other. Perhaps you've recently come through a challenge together, or you're both still working to overcome one. But the spirit of mutual effort and emotional alignment is shining through powerfully. And then, a shift. The winds have changed direction. The heaviness, the tension, they've been released. The cards reveal that both of you, especially this person, have been trying tirelessly for quite some time. And what they truly long for now is your recognition. There's a quiet sincerity emanating from them. I've tried so hard. I just want you to see that. I want to hear you say I've done well. Now, let's move into the final part, how this person sees you at this moment. The first impression is clear. They can't take their eyes off you. You're something they simply can't ignore. There's something in you that feels delicate, vulnerable. And because of that, They feel a strong urge to protect you, to stay close and take care of you. This feeling isn't shallow or fleeting, it's genuine and instinctive. You're the kind of person who, if they turn their back on you, they'd constantly worry, constantly feel the need to look back and make sure you're okay. When they look at you, both now and likely even in the past, there's always been a sense of fragility, of something easily lost. It's as if you're something they thought they had grasped, but in a single moment, you slipped gently through their fingers. That feeling doesn't come from you being vague or emotionally distant, but rather from the fact that you carry a free-spirited energy, one that cannot be contained. They feel that you're someone who is difficult to hold on to, not because you try to be, but simply because that's your nature, serene, unbound, and effortlessly free. And because of that, being near you always stirs something within them, an anxious flutter, a quiet nervousness. It's as if they're constantly at the mercy of their emotions when it comes to you. Every word you speak, every small gesture you make, hits their heart deeply. You move them. You stir something within them. And at times, they don't even realize they've already been swept away, already enchanted by your presence. Another card suggests that this person senses you're not someone who stays in one place for too long. It's as if there's always something ahead calling to you, some horizon you're drawn to. They feel that if they let their guard down for even a moment, you might slip away, disappearing into a space they can no longer reach. In their eyes, you are a free soul. They may see in you a fierce independence, a resolute spirit, or a way of living that doesn't rely on anyone else. And perhaps they also feel that there's a barrier within you, something that keeps you from fully opening up, from fully stepping toward them. That barrier might be past pain, a challenging situation, or a boundary you're currently facing. In short, when they look at you, their heart trembles. They are both captivated and unsettled, fascinated, yet afraid. Because you are the one who makes their heart feel more fragile than ever. There's something weighing on them. For some of you, the relationship may still be undefined, not yet bound by any clear label or commitment. And this person seems to be someone who needs clarity, someone who finds peace in commitment. They struggle with ambiguity, with waiting for something that has no certainty. What they need is form, something tangible, a promise, a declaration, something that allows them to feel secure again. On the other hand, it feels as though they want to pursue you, to move closer to you, but something is holding them back. It might be due to external circumstances, or it might stem from their own inner hesitation. They want to take initiative, yet something restrains them. This internal conflict doesn't stem from a lack of desire to act, but from the emotions within. They are fighting a silent battle inside their own heart. Looking at the next 4 cards, 2 prominent feelings emerge. First, they seem to be waiting for your heart to find peace, for your emotions to settle. Second, they see you as someone gentle, calm, like a stream of cool water that soothes them every time they think of you. Perhaps you're someone who gives them a sense of safety, or someone they believe they can trust, even if a distance still lingers between you. One more thing. They want you to know they're not lying. They're being sincere. They want you to believe in them, to understand that everything they do has a reason, even if you don't yet know what that reason is. They also see you as someone truly special, full of character. There's something about you that stands apart. It could be your way of thinking, your lifestyle, or simply the way you express yourself. But to them, that uniqueness is a powerful attraction. They find you fascinating, full of color, and that's exactly why they can't stop thinking about you. For some of you, there may have been something in the past that caused a separation between you and this person. And now, they want to reconcile. They want to reconnect. They want healing. They wonder whether you might still be waiting for the right moment to open your heart again, to give them another chance. In their heart, you are someone truly special, that, without question, is how they see you. And finally, when I look into this person's true emotions in this very moment, I see a quiet, lingering pain in their heart. They are hurting in silence. Something feels as though it's tightening around their heart, making it hard to breathe. The cards 8 of Swords, 4 of Swords, 9 of Cups, and the image of the dog all point to a state of emotional paralysis. They cannot act, cannot move forward, they can only remain still and accept. They may be imprisoning themselves in this pain, or enduring something deeply emotional related to you. Perhaps something happened between the two of you that neither of you wished for, and now, they feel there's no other choice but to remain silent and endure it. And yet, beneath it all, there still beats a heart full of feeling. A heart that still turns toward you. With pain, with distance, yet still carrying your image with every beat. If this reading touches something within you, then perhaps this is the time to listen closely to your own feelings and ask whether your heart is also trying to speak to them. For some of you, this person may be in a situation where they feel they must create distance right now. Not because they want to walk away, but because circumstances are forcing them to accept it as something unavoidable. Inside them, a voice echoes clearly, "Even though I don't want to, I have to let go." They understand that this is necessary. They believe that creating space, though incredibly painful, is ultimately for your own good. They have chosen this path, not because their feelings have faded, but precisely because their love for you runs so deep. They're stepping back for now, and it hurts them deeply. It saddens them. It feels as though they're hurting themselves just to do what they believe is right. The Lover's card appears, a clear testament that their love for you is still very much alive, steadfast and sincere. But alongside it lies loneliness, inner conflict, and the sorrow of having to accept something they never wanted. Within their heart, a painful question lingers. Why must I walk away when I love them this much? Next come 3 cards, the Magician, 7 of Wands, and the Image of the Mouse, together delivering a powerful message. No matter the circumstances, no matter what I must face, I won't give up. I will keep fighting. They are in the mindset of a warrior. They know that this love is facing a difficult chapter, but they refuse to let it fade. Deep in their heart, they are holding on to a strong will, believing that one day they will be able to move forward again, to stand by your side once more. And from the depths of their heart, I can feel something else. They're sending you a message of encouragement, a quiet cheer from afar. They want you to be strong. They believe in your strength. They want you to know that you are not alone. They are there, watching over you, silently wishing you well, and believing in you.
You are someone truly special to them.
And even if there must be distance, even if their heart aches, their love remains unchanged. And if one day your paths cross again, they will walk toward you, with all the courage in their heart and love that has never faded. They truly long to create a healthy space, an environment of stability, not only for themselves, but for you and for the relationship you share. They want to make everything feel lighter, cleaner, more peaceful. Whatever others may think, whatever gossip or judgments might swirl around them, none of it matters anymore. From deep within, the only thing they hope for is to nurture a space good enough for love to grow freely between you and them, untouched by circumstance, untouched by the outside world. The Oracle card appears like a gentle whisper. Even if we are apart, we are always connected. There is a very clear sense of distance in this energy, especially physical distance. Perhaps due to life circumstances, living conditions, or unavoidable limitations, the two of you have been forced apart. But this person wants you to know, no matter how far, they still feel an invisible thread that ties you together. They believe that what exists between you is a deep understanding that transcends words, distance, and differences. And then, a powerful image emerges. The light within them is on the verge of bursting forth, but they are holding it back. Perhaps circumstances won't allow them to express their feelings openly, or perhaps something is restraining them. But deep down, they are suffering silently. It is pain, longing, and the aching solitude of not being able to be near you as they wish. They may be silently asking themselves, if only I could express everything I feel, how beautiful that would be.
They want to speak.
They want to express it all. But right now, they're trapped in a state where everything must be held back. And yet, their feelings for you have never faded, not even for a moment. In fact, you've now become an irreplaceable part of their world. And because they cannot express it, the emotion becomes even more painful, like a wound in the left side of their chest, aching each time they think of you. They're doing their best to endure, to stay strong. But at the same time, I sense something else. They're hoping you might do something. They no longer have the strength to always be the one to reach out first. Perhaps they're silently hoping for a sign from you, even the smallest one, just to know that you're still there, that you still care, that there's still a thread connecting you to them. Though unspoken, what they're thinking is this: if you would only take one step toward me, I would walk the rest of the way to you, no matter how far. And that is the full message from their heart to yours, at this very moment in time. If this touched something within you, then perhaps, even in the silence and the distance, a deep kind of love still remains, quietly waiting for you to notice. Thank you for staying with me until the end of the video. I'll see you again in the next readings.
Hello to those of you who chose pile 2.
Thank you for waiting. Now, I'll begin the reading for those of you who chose pile 2. I hope this reading brings you healing, new understanding, and moments filled with love. The theme of today's reading is your person's current feelings. First, let's take a look at what they're currently struggling with. The initial feeling that comes through the cards is one of lack. It's as if they constantly feel that what they have is not enough, never quite satisfying, never quite reaching what they truly long for. There's a deep sense of unease and emotional emptiness inside them, something that hasn't yet been fulfilled. And then, a card appears that represents you, indicating that you are very much on their mind at this moment. Yet it seems this person tends to be reserved, shy, or awkward when it comes to expressing their emotions. Because of that, they may be feeling frustrated with themselves, for not being able to show their feelings the way they wish, for not being more graceful, or for feeling as though they lack something to be more deserving of you. In addition, there is something they don't want you to know, something that weighs heavily on their heart. I drew another card, and it leapt out immediately, the Strength card. This card reveals that they're paying close attention to you, observing you very intently. But, at the same time, they're trying to hide it. They don't want you to know just how much they care, how deeply invested they are. They're trying to conceal their emotions, not wanting you to see how much you truly matter to them. It's possible that they're carrying a burden related to material matters, perhaps financial issues, or a problem involving family, or their living situation. They don't want you to know about these struggles. Whether it's pride or a desire to shield you from worry, they're choosing to keep these things to themselves, as a way of protecting the image they want you to see. Another thing that becomes very clear is that this person is feeling deeply insecure. There may be someone in their environment who makes them feel threatened, perhaps a romantic rival, or simply someone who makes it hard for them to be themselves. What they're longing for is this. If only this could disappear, if only I didn't have to keep fighting it. This sense of unease isn't only coming from outside, it's also rooted within them. Internal instability, emotional conflict, and a persistent feeling of inadequacy are all making them feel more vulnerable than ever. As mentioned earlier, what's troubling them might not be limited to emotions. It could very well be tied to financial matters. They feel unsatisfied with what they currently have, discontent with their present situation, both materially and emotionally. There's an emptiness inside them that hasn't yet been filled. And this void may be directly connected to you. They want to offer you more, do more for you, but they feel they're not yet enough. The next 2 cards reflect a longing that's crystal clear. I want to be with you. I don't want to be apart. But if this desire is manifesting as inner turmoil, it could mean that the two of you are currently facing challenges that make it difficult to be together. It could be physical distance or barriers that make connection hard to sustain. They're wondering, are you willing to go through this with me? Will you walk this path with me? They hope that your heart is reaching for them the same way theirs is reaching for you, that the love between you is mutual. And then, the soulmate card appears, a profound affirmation that you are someone who holds immense significance in both their heart and mind. Next, let's take a look at what is currently happening in their life. The 7 of Swords appears first, and the strongest impression I receive from this card is, something has been exposed. It's possible that they were hiding something they didn't want you or anyone else to know, but it has now come to light. Perhaps it was seen, accidentally revealed, or discovered by someone else. And because of this, they now feel deeply uncomfortable, vulnerable, and hurt. What's happening with them now is a situation that has forced them to stop in their tracks. They can't move forward the way they used to. There's a sense of suspension, as if the universe has pressed pause. They can no longer act freely, but instead must move cautiously, carefully weighing each decision. The most distinct feeling here is that they've been forced to slow down. Not because they want to, but because the circumstances demand it. They may be afraid of further pain, afraid of making a mistake, afraid of losing something important. That's why they've become quiet, more deliberate, more guarded in their behavior. Even if they don't speak it aloud, there is so much they want to say. There may have been a moment when they felt you were so close that all they had to do was reach out, and you would be there. But now, that feeling seems to be slipping away. You might still be near, but to them, it feels as if they've lost you, or at least lost the certainty they once held. This distance doesn't necessarily refer to geography. It could be emotional, or a shift in the way your connection feels. They once believed that everything would be okay, that they could hold on to you, that things could continue as before. But now, something has happened that's causing them to question. Doubt has crept in. They're starting to wonder, was I too optimistic? Was I too sure of something I never really had? From the next 3 cards, One keyword stands out clearly: complacency. This person may have once believed that everything would turn out fine, that nothing would go wrong, that they were okay, or that surely you wouldn't walk away. But now, something they thought was impossible is happening. And it's left them confused, even afraid. It feels as if the world they once trusted to be stable has suddenly begun to crack. And once again, the image of something being exposed resurfaces. It could be that a secret came to light, or an emotion they tried to hide was suddenly seen. Perhaps they thought you would never notice, never realize what they were concealing, but you did. Or someone else did. From the following two cards, one emotion is especially strong: shame. They're feeling ashamed of what has been revealed, ashamed of their vulnerability being seen, ashamed that emotions they tried to keep hidden have now surfaced. This may involve how they feel about you, or something personal they didn't want you to know. They believed you'd never find out, but the truth is you did. Or your intuition did. And this has thrown them off balance, stripped them of control. It's as though they've been exposed, laid bare beneath a light they weren't ready to stand under. In short, they are now caught in a state of deep inner chaos. Something has happened that's shaken their sense of certainty, filled them with shame, and forced them to face themselves. But one thing is undeniable: you play a major role in all of it. It seems that whatever they were trying to hide has now been discovered. And next, let's look into what is truly unfolding between the two of you. Some of you may be in a situation where this person believes you've found it out. Whether it's their feelings for you, or something they've been holding inside, be it an emotion, a past action, or a hidden thought, whatever it was, it now feels as though you or someone close to you has seen it, sensed it, or brought it to light. Perhaps it was a feeling they had tried to suppress, but in the end, could no longer hide. That feeling, I like you, I care about you, even if it was never spoken, has now been felt by you. And it's possible that their silent affection has also been noticed by others. 3 cards appear next: the Magician, the Devil, and the Heart. Together, they paint a vivid picture. It's likely that this person was captivated by you from the very first glance. A powerful pull, like you left a mark on their heart from the moment you met. And though they may appear calm or indifferent on the surface, deep down, they were deeply moved. This is further confirmed by the next 3 cards: Ace of Swords, the Lovers, and the Clover. It feels as if, once their secret was discovered, they simply let go. They stopped trying to hide it. Perhaps they're thinking, well, if it's already out in the open, so be it. There's a certain surrender in that thought, but it also creates space for truth to emerge. They might now believe, you already know, so there's no need to deny it anymore. And from that, something truly beautiful begins to reveal itself. What was once vague is now becoming clearer. You may be sensing it, and so are they. There's a quiet resonance between you, a connection that doesn't need words to be understood. Everything now seems to have come into focus, and can no longer be hidden. The final oracle card is back and forth. This person now seems to be entering a state of confusion and restlessness. Their heart is filled with questions. What should I do? Should I move forward, or should I step back? They feel unsteady. Their heart races. They can't sit still. It's as if the truth being exposed has left them both relieved and anxious. Internally, they're pacing back and forth, unable to decide, unable to stay calm. If you've sensed a shift in their eyes, in the smallest gestures, then you're right. Because what's happening is this: the truth has been touched, and they are genuinely moved. Each time they come into contact with you, whether it's a fleeting glance, a short conversation, or simply being in your presence, their heart stirs. Though they may appear composed on the surface, inside they are anything but calm. There's a sense that the bond between you is beginning to open up, and this stirs in them a blend of anticipation and uncertainty. All these emotions feel, to them, like a quiet miracle just beginning to unfold. Now, we come to the next part: how they see you right now. The energy here paints a vivid picture. You appear in their mind as someone protected, sheltered. They sense that you live within a space that is guarded, perhaps by family, by your personal beliefs, or by the values you deeply honor. There is something sacred and unreachable about you. And because of that, you evoke in them both admiration and hesitation. Alongside this, they also see you as someone careful, someone who doesn't open their heart easily, someone who weighs things thoughtfully before allowing anyone into your inner world. They're unsure what your heart is thinking, what you're feeling, and that keeps them watching, keeps them wondering. They also feel a certain hesitance, a sense of caution or distance coming from you. They quietly wonder, are you keeping your distance from me? Or is there something you need to protect? They sense that there's something important in your life, a loved one, a goal, or a memory, that causes you to place great value on being careful. The next three cards, Six of Cups, the Hermit, and the Fox, further reinforce this impression. You are someone standing behind a veil, observing, silently contemplating, keeping yourself in a safe, quiet space. There's something about you that they simply cannot look away from, but at the same time, they dare not approach too carelessly. Then, for more cards reveal a clearer glimpse of their emotions. Queen of Pentacles, King of Swords, Two of Pentacles, and the Letter. This person is yearning for a more concrete connection with you. If the two of you haven't spoken much, they wish for a chance to message you, to begin a clearer interaction. And if there is already some form of communication, they're hoping for it to become more frequent, more intimate. They want to be closer to you in a gentle, respectful way. And if they were allowed to speak the deepest truth of their heart, perhaps it would be this. I want to be near you more. I want to understand you. I want you to know that you don't have to guard yourself against me. I have no intention of hurting you. I just want to be close. Beyond your cautious, introspective, and grounded presence, they also sense that you are someone who's working hard to balance many aspects of life. You may be holding a central role, juggling work and family, or navigating between responsibility and personal emotion. In their eyes, you are someone capable of wearing many hats, thoughtful, resilient, yet still graceful and emotionally rich. They also see a kind of everyday beauty in you, a warmth, a sense of stability. You seem like someone they could lean on, someone who feels like home. Perhaps you are the kind of person who offers wise advice, or someone others instinctively turn to when they need to confide. To them, you are someone who guides others, who uplifts without noise or self-promotion. The Four of Wands combined with the symbol of the tree reveals that you offer peace and safety, but also have clearly defined boundaries. There may be an invisible line between the two of you, a threshold that others are not allowed to cross easily. You are mature, grounded, and likely someone who sets principles and knows how to protect both yourself and those around you. And the strongest feeling remains. You are protected. This image returns once more. They sense that you are held by something greater, whether it's your own strength or the universe surrounding you. It could be that you're guarding yourself well, but it might also be that they're sensing a spiritual force, a sacred energy, or the protective presence of those around you that keeps you safe and makes it hard for anyone to approach you casually. The opportunity card appears like a whisper from their soul. I want a chance. Maybe it's a chance to speak with you, to ask for a way to stay in touch, or to simply share a private moment, just the two of you. They are waiting for the right time, the right situation, close enough to open up, to take one more step toward you. And now we arrive at the final part, their feelings in this very moment. The Four of Swords and the Knight card appear, bringing with them a clear sensation. They are being held back, unable to begin something, unable to act on what they truly want. Perhaps they're enduring something, pressure, limitations, or some kind of barrier that leaves them only able to watch, to wait. It feels like they're carrying something in their heart, maybe love, maybe longing, but they can't do anything about it. They can't speak, can't move forward, can't begin. And so, they're forcing themselves to be still, even though every part of them wants to take a step toward you. If their emotions could be spoken aloud, they might sound something like this. I'm carrying something in my heart. It's you. But I can't begin, not yet. I'm waiting for a chance, a sign, a moment when I can come closer to you without pushing you away. Perhaps they're holding on to something they believe to be forbidden, or at least something they feel must not be revealed. They're trying to suppress their emotions, to hold back the stirrings and desires within, not letting it all spill out. Even though their heart is so clearly drawn to you, they're forcing themselves to stay calm, to keep everything hidden. The next three cards, the Tower, the Moon, and the Ship, evoke a particularly intense feeling. It seems that being near you brings them pain. A kind of suffocating ache, a storm within the heart that makes it hard to stay rational. Perhaps due to circumstances, social roles, or an existing relationship, they cannot openly express what they feel for you. They cannot let it show. They can't let others know. And sometimes, they feel they can't even let you know. They believe that if they were to speak these feelings aloud, or let their emotions go too far, it could bring something crashing down. Maybe a relationship, a structure in their life, or even the delicate balance they've been trying so hard to maintain. Next come four more cards. King of Cups, Four of Cups, the Coffin, and the Book. This group carries a deeply emotional message. This person loves you, profoundly, maturely, as shown in the King of Cups. But at the same time, they feel disappointment, a quiet sorrow, because the connection between you is not enough to satisfy what they truly desire. They want more, they want closeness, but they know, or believe, that such closeness may be impossible. Maybe the two of you were never lovers. Or perhaps this was a relationship that once had potential, but was interrupted. Or maybe it's a silent bond, one that has never been spoken aloud. And then, the book and the coffin appear together, illustrating exactly what they're enduring: secrecy and sorrow. They are hiding everything deep within, locked tightly inside a box that no one is allowed to open. And the emotion that accompanies it is shame. Not shame for loving you, but shame for being found out. Perhaps you've sensed their feelings, or maybe they simply believe you now know far more than they ever intended to reveal. Within them echoes a question filled with heartbreak. Why you? Why do I love you this much, and yet cannot show it? They are caught between the depth of their genuine feelings and a reality they cannot overcome. And so their heart grows heavy, silent. They dare not come closer, for fear that something might break, for fear that you might fully see the emotions they've been trying so hard to conceal. And even though it hurts, they keep telling themselves, I must not let it show. No matter how much I love, I must not let you know. I may have spoken before about the shame this person carries, and now that emotion rises again, even more clearly. They feel embarrassed, even a little flustered, because the depth of their feelings can't be expressed outwardly. Though their heart holds an ocean of emotion, on the outside, everything must remain silent. The fact that they cannot speak this love, cannot share it openly, is slowly turning into a quiet sorrow that eats away at them. And then through the oracle cards, something comes into sharp focus. There is something you cannot change, something you cannot leave behind, or at least not yet. It might be a responsibility to your family, a life path you've chosen, a religious belief, a societal expectation, or even an existing relationship that you cannot walk away from. And they feel this. They sense that there is a barrier between you, something fixed, something immovable, and it breaks their heart. They understand. They don't blame you. But that doesn't mean they aren't hurting. It feels, to them, like you are bound to something far greater, and that very thing is what's quietly keeping your heart from stepping freely toward theirs. And yet, in contrast to all those limitations, the love they hold for you is incredibly pure. They look at you with eyes full of sincerity and gentleness, without calculation, without demand. It is simply a heart that has been moved, that has placed you in the most sacred space within, and there, they hold your image as something deeply cherished. The Follow the Rules card appears like a silent pause. It suggests that between you, there are clearly defined boundaries, set by family, by belief systems, or by the life paths you each must follow. Perhaps this person, or perhaps you, are walking a path that has already been laid out, a path that cannot be diverted or altered. And no matter how deep the longing may be, they know they must stop at that boundary. So they now live in the quiet understanding. I want to be near you, but I know I cannot. I want to speak, but I know I must not. I love, but in silence. I hope but cannot ask. It may not be that they are giving up on you, but they are releasing the expectation. They no longer dare to dream for more, because deep down, they are telling themselves, if only but this is the reality. And if your heart is also holding something unspoken, then perhaps the two of you are connected by an invisible thread, subtle, yet deeply real. The dependency card has appeared, not merely as a sign of emotional reliance, but as a quiet message about the need for independence, the need to stand strong on one's own. The truth is, between you, the issue of autonomy, the inability of one or both to fully let go of something in order to live authentically, has become the biggest barrier. And this person is fully aware of it. If they didn't understand what was holding them back, this card would never have appeared. They know exactly why this situation feels so difficult. They know why their heart feels exhausted and why they ache. And they also understand that if they continue forward recklessly, they could end up causing pain, not only to themselves but to you as well. I can sense something very special here. Between the two of you exists a kind of ambiguous connection, undefined, unnamed, without commitment. There may have been lingering glances, flickers of emotion, perhaps even words that hinted at something deeper, but everything stopped there. And precisely because no name has been given to this relationship, each time the two of you draw closer, the heart recoils in fear. This person feels that if things were to continue, something would go wrong. Maybe it's a question of morality, the current relationship status, or a promise made to someone else. And you're not indifferent to this. You know the reason why the two of you cannot come closer, why things cannot be spoken aloud. Perhaps you both understand each other deeply, genuinely, and that very understanding makes it hurt even more. To love, yet be unable to move forward, to remain still and only watch each other from afar, that is what's making both your hearts ache in silence. So then, what's the solution? I drew 3 more cards to seek an answer for you, and the first message that emerged was this: prioritize yourself first. This is not a selfish suggestion. It's a gentle reminder. You need to return to yourself, to what you truly need, to what you genuinely deserve. Perhaps you've sacrificed too much for this emotion, waiting, hoping, silently hurting. But now is the time to ask yourself, what do I want? Is my heart being healed, or is it being forgotten? Maybe you need to take a step back, not to give up, but to love yourself again. To give yourself peace, instead of continuing to nurture a love that forces you to shrink, to hide every time you get close to them. Maybe you need to rise, not to walk away, but to affirm that you are still the center of your own life, not them, and not this unnamed relationship. Even if they truly love you, if that love cannot be lived openly and fully, then you have every right to choose what helps you grow stronger. Prioritize yourself. That is the clearest message the cards are sending to you right now. If there is something unresolved, whether in your heart or in your life, then start there. Don't wait for the other person to change. Don't live based on what they might do, whether they'll step forward or walk away. First, you must ask yourself, what do I truly want? And begin taking action from that answer. The message also evokes the image of cleansing, not just your physical space, but everything that's been weighing on your heart. Perhaps you've been holding onto too much, clinging to emotions or entangling yourself in undefined relationships. Now is the time to let some of it go, because you cannot carry it all and still feel light. Next, the World and King of Wands appear, showing that you play a significant role in shaping the space where the other person might feel safe enough to open up. Perhaps in the past, you were quiet, guarded, or didn't offer the right environment for them to feel at ease expressing themselves. Now, if you truly want to listen, to understand, then create that space. One that is open, non-judgmental, where emotions are allowed to show themselves, even if only a little. However, in some cases, I also sense this. From your perspective, this person might appear unstable at times, or perhaps they've made you feel like you can't fully trust them. And because of that, your attention may often focus on what they lack, rather than recognizing what you already have. But the truth is, you already possess so much maturity, insight, and a profound capacity to love. You are the anchor in this connection. So then, who holds the key to this relationship? It's you. You are the one with the power to choose. You are the one who decides what to hold on to, what to release, and what to build. This person continues to watch over you, continues to hold deep feelings for you, but you're the one at the center, the one who decides where things will go. The final whisper I sense from them, if they could speak it aloud, would perhaps be this: I'm not strong enough to pull you closer, but I'm always here, within the distance where you can still see me. If you walk toward me, I won't step away. But if you turn down another path, I'll understand. It's just that in my heart, you've always been the one I quietly chose. That brings this reading for pile 2 to a close. If you've resonated with this message, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to support my work. Your encouragement is the greatest motivation for me to continue bringing heartfelt, meaningful readings to you. And if today's message has touched something within you, feel free to leave a comment, or even just a small symbol, so I know it's reached your heart. I deeply value each and every message you share, and always look forward to hearing your thoughts. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this video. I'll see you again in the next reading. Hello to those of you who chose pile 3. Thank you for waiting. Now, I'll begin the reading for those who are drawn to this third pile. I hope this message brings you healing, fresh insight, and moments filled with tenderness. The theme today is their current feelings for you. To begin, let's take a look at what's truly weighing on their heart right now. From the cards drawn, I can sense a very powerful energy, intense, and even a bit tense. First of all, their image emerges as someone currently involved in a committed relationship or entangled in a love triangle. If this aligns with your situation, that may be the very issue most troubling them at this moment. For those not in a complex triangle, the interpretation may shift to this: they are someone who likes to hold the reins in a relationship. They prefer to set the pace, determine the direction, and maintain control over the dynamic between the two of you. Still, the overall impression remains that many of you drawn to pile 3 are involved in a connection that is layered and emotionally complicated, not a straightforward path. Next, the appearance of cards like the Queen, 3 of Cups, and the card representing you shows just how significant you are in their eyes. They feel your presence deeply, the kind of attraction that is both gentle and profound. What seems to be haunting them is the need to make a choice. It may be a choice between 2 people, or between staying in their comfort zone and stepping into the unknown. The appearance of 2 of Cups and the key reinforces that there's a true emotional connection between you, one that runs deep. But at the same time, there may still be a lack of full understanding between you both. Perhaps communication has been limited, or you haven't yet had the chance to open up to each other in an honest and vulnerable way. This lack of clarity and mutual understanding seems to be the key to where things will go next. The next trio of cards, the Emperor, the Lovers, and the Fox, reveals a more hidden truth. This person is feeling deeply restrained in their ability to act. It could be due to certain obligations, or because they're afraid of judgment, of being seen, of what others might think. They're concerned with their image, their social standing, or perhaps simply with not wanting to hurt anyone, whether that be you or someone else involved. What's particularly striking is the appearance of 2 leadership-oriented cards, the Emperor and a card symbolizing leadership, side by side. This shows that they want to take control of the relationship. They want to be the one to decide. And yet, ironically, it is their own hesitation, fear, and overthinking that are trapping everything in a state of paralysis. If you find yourself in a vague connection, a love triangle, or you feel like this person is emotionally invested but keeping their distance, then that's exactly what's happening. They're tangled up in choices, obligations, emotions, and expectations. And you are the one who makes it all feel more complicated, but also the one they can't stop thinking about. Then comes the Clean It Up card, like a clear whisper. They're overwhelmed by the mess inside their heart. Things are tangled, chaotic, unclear, and desperately need to be sorted, clarified, and put into order. Even they are exhausted by the ambiguity, the hesitation, and their inability to make a firm decision. That indecisiveness is one of the deepest sources of turmoil for them right now. Now, let's look at what is truly happening within them at this moment. The first card reveals a quiet wish. I want to go there. In this case, there is you. There's a strong pull within them to walk away from everything holding them back and move closer to you. And yet, at the same time, another powerful feeling arises. Please don't leave me. They're afraid you'll walk away, vanish from their world, slip through their fingers if they wait too long. They don't want to lose you. They don't want an ending, not with something they never even had the courage to fully claim. And then, a deeper layer begins to emerge. Commitments, obligations, whether in the form of marriage, duty, or past promises, are now becoming chains that suffocate them. This person feels bound by something they once willingly agreed to, something they once pledged, but now, that very promise is what's preventing them from getting closer to the one they truly long for. The Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Pentacles, and the Mountain appear in succession, forming a symbolic sequence that says, something immense is standing between the two of you. Even if it's not a third party or a marriage, there is still a significant barrier, perhaps distance, differences in life circumstances, beliefs, or even deep-rooted fear within themselves. Still, in the depths of their heart, there is a clear yearning. They want to choose you. They want to move toward you. They want to break through the barrier. But for now, they feel stuck, trapped, unable to act, unable to take a step forward, and this leaves them feeling both helpless and heartbroken. It seems this person is now facing a major obstacle, something that blocks their way, even as emotions within them surge powerfully. The appearance of 9 of Cups, Judgment, and the book suggests that something they once thought was lost forever has reawakened within them. For instance, if they once believed they would never be able to love again, your presence has stirred that feeling back to life. You've awakened emotions they thought had died long ago. And that feeling, now, it's beyond their control. They can't stop it. They can't pretend it's not there. Yet at the same time, they are painfully aware of the walls standing in their path. Whether that barrier is external or rooted deep within their own heart, it is very real, and it's keeping them from reaching you. Another possibility is beginning to surface. It could be that this person is learning, reflecting, drawing lessons from past mistakes. They've grown more cautious, more careful. They don't want to repeat the failures they've experienced before, and now they're trying to act differently. It feels like they're studying again, revisiting what is right, what should be done, so that next time, if the opportunity arises, they won't let it slip away. Next, when it comes to what's truly happening between the two of you, a wave of sadness and emotional conflict begins to emerge. Some of you may be in a situation where you are being forced to let go, to stop. One of you might be thinking, we need to stop even though the heart doesn't want to. Or, at the very least, there's a feeling of I should walk away because it hurts too much, or because there's something impossible to overcome. That feeling, the desire to hold on, yet being forced to let go, is intensely real and deeply felt between these two hearts right now. In terms of what is currently unfolding between you, it appears that both of you are standing at a threshold filled with contradiction and heartache. The three cards, Five of Pentacles, Two of Swords, and the Lily, suggest that one of you is unable or unwilling to move forward. Something cannot be fulfilled. You might be yearning for something deeper, something more defined, a true commitment, yet that may be out of reach. Or conversely, you may feel that you cannot give what the other person is asking for. What's heartbreaking is that you seem to be the one who is suffering more in this connection. No matter how deep your feelings go, no matter how much you long to be close and to be loved in return, what you truly yearn for still feels just out of reach. That ache in your heart has made this bond one of emotional turmoil. And yet, the Ace of Cups and the letter cards reveal that there is still a connection between you. Perhaps you still communicate regularly, through messages, through heartfelt words, through shared emotions. To some extent, the two of you may have already acknowledged the presence of feelings, the magnetic pull, the sense that you are not strangers to one another. Following that, the cards the Star, Two of Pentacles, Birds, and the Snake bring forth something crucial. The emotions between you are not fleeting. They are enduring, profound, and possibly have been there for quite some time. This is not a fleeting spark or a passing encounter. Perhaps the two of you have built something over time, shared trust, exchanged deep sentiments. Or even if you never fully came together, you may have remained silently by each other's side for a long time and in a very genuine way. And yet, something always seems to prevent this relationship from unfolding the way you hope it would. The snake symbolizes entanglements, unseen obstacles, deep-rooted complications. Things aren't unfolding the way you want. And because of that, you may feel exhausted, defeated, unsure of what you can still hope for. The feelings are undeniably there, but the path forward is full of twists and turns. These are the truths now surfacing, the emotions, the realities that this person is truly feeling. And then, two oracle cards appear side by side, as a confirmation of all that your heart has been carrying. You are feeling tired, heartbroken, and perhaps even emotionally drained from continuing to nurture this connection. It might be the very fact that you love this person, or that you love them so much you can't let go, that has become a source of pain. You long to hold on to them, to be by their side, to take even one step closer. And yet, it all seems beyond your reach. You find yourself at a crossroads, torn and uncertain. Should I keep going? Should I hold on to this love? Or should I let go, just to find some peace? And now, as we shift into seeing things from their perspective, how do they see you at this moment? The first card that appears carries a deep sense of regret. I've made you sad. I've made you cry. They are aware of that. Even if they've never said it aloud, they know they've hurt you. And if there were once promises made between you, a commitment, or even a quiet expectation, those thoughts are now weighing heavily on their mind. Maybe they didn't keep their word. Maybe they still haven't followed through on what they said they would. Or maybe they're bound by a promise made to someone else, one that prevents them from giving themselves to you entirely. A worry also rises in their heart. Maybe you don't believe in me anymore. It's not that they think you mistrust them, but they feel the distance between you growing wider, and with it, a slow fading of trust. There is an invisible space pulling the two of you apart, and they feel it too. They don't blame you, but they are afraid that your heart no longer holds the same faith it once did. This person is quietly asking themselves, can I really do what I promised? They fear that you no longer believe in their words. They can sense your doubt, or at least that your faith in them is no longer as steady as before. And that's what they see now when they look toward you. And yet, there is still a deeply sincere current of emotion flowing from them. Please wait for me, just a little longer. Even if your heart is tired, even if you're ready to let go, this person is silently hoping you'll continue to wait. Because deep down, they still want to do things right. They want to keep their word, to show you that what they said wasn't just fleeting talk. They know they've made you sad, that they've hurt you. In some cases, they may feel that you're angry, even if you haven't explicitly shown it. They sense that something they did disappointed you, shook your trust. Maybe it's the prolonged distance, a promise they haven't been able to fulfill, or the fact that you're longing for a clear answer they still can't give. They can feel your urgency, your longing for certainty, for a resolution, for a decisive action. And that pressure worries them because they're not yet able to move forward at the pace you might want. They see you as someone strong, sharp, and decisive, while they themselves are still caught in hesitation, still unable to release what needs to be let go. The cards, 8 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, the Mouse, and the House, speak clearly of one thing. They know they've made you wait.
And they feel guilty for that.
Yet even so, they still hold on to hope that you might wait a little more. They worry that you're dissatisfied, that your patience is wearing thin. They worry that you, the one they love, are slowly slipping away. Perhaps in their eyes, you are moving faster than they are. You know what you want, what you need, and you don't want to stay in a half-formed relationship indefinitely. Meanwhile, they can't yet move at the same speed, and that both impresses them and frightens them. They may feel that you move too quickly, quick to decide, quick to choose what you want. You may be someone who, once certain, doesn't hesitate to take action. But for them, that creates pressure. They're thinking, does it really have to happen so fast? They're hoping you might slow down just a little, not to delay things forever, but to give them time to understand, to feel sure, to get everything in order. And then, the World card appears, the symbol of completion, of wholeness. This may hold two meanings. Either they see you as too perfect, making them feel small and unworthy in comparison, or you are their ideal, someone who embodies everything they've ever longed for in a partner. In both cases, the shared feeling is this: you exceed all expectations. It's also possible that you make them feel as if they've been stripped bare, as if all their weaknesses, all the things they've tried to hide, are now clearly visible to you. Even if you don't say a word, they can feel it. And that stirs in them a mix of awe, vulnerability, and self-consciousness. You live with integrity, righteously, deeply, truthfully. They see that in you, clearly. The Enlightenment card shows up as an acknowledgement of that truth. You're someone with insight, with wisdom, and a broad, mature perspective. They believe you understand everything, and that makes them both admire you and feel exposed in your presence. And now we arrive at the most important part: how they feel in this very moment. It's remarkable that the cards appearing now are all pages: Page of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Page of Cups. A wave of fresh, youthful energy. These are feelings in their early stages, not yet fully expressed, but undeniably sincere. This person is currently brimming with fragile, yet intense emotions. There's a deep longing to begin again, to step closer to you, to explore what might be possible between you. They are still learning how to express what they feel, still trying to understand the language of their own heart, but there is no doubt, their heart is reaching out to you. First and foremost, there is one thing they feel very clearly: what you're seeing right now is not the whole truth. It's possible that you've misunderstood, or that you're only seeing a small fragment of who they really are, and they want to tell you that their true feelings are entirely different. What they've shown you may not fully reflect what they're truly feeling inside. The Page of Pentacles, combined with the two Sun cards, symbols of clarity, vitality, and truth, reveals that they are yearning to say this to you. You are the one. You are the person they want to move toward, the one they want to choose. They want you to know this clearly, not just through words, but through action and truth. They want you to see their heart, openly and honestly, with nothing hidden. The appearance of the Page of Wands, 3 of Swords, the Ship, and the Clouds suggests they are carrying deep wounds. Perhaps they've been hurt by this very connection, but they still haven't given up hope. Even if this love brings pain, even if distance or uncertainty clouds everything like mist, they still believe there is hope. You're not someone they can let go of easily. On the contrary, you're the one they can't let go of. Finally, the Magician, Page of Cups, and the Clover reveal their strongest desire: to show, to act, to prove through reality. They want you to see that what you may currently think of them is not the full picture, and they want to change that. They want to do something so you can truly see their heart. Maybe you're doubtful. Maybe you don't fully trust them. But they don't want these feelings to remain locked inside forever. They want to act. They want you to witness it for yourself. This person stands at the intersection of emotional vulnerability and a genuine wish to begin again with you. With clarity, with heart, and with real, tangible actions. They genuinely want to express this to you, clearly, openly. Then, the Oracle card reveals something rather profound. At this moment, you may be adopting a stance that's more rigid than usual. Perhaps, without realizing it, you've closed off the door to communication or are holding on to a particular belief too tightly, as if you've already defined who they are in a fixed way. And they can sense it. They're thinking, if only you could be a little softer, a little more flexible, maybe things could be different. They don't blame you, but they hope you'll understand. They have a vision, a direction they want to build with you. There's something they want to create, to show, and they hope you'll be open to receiving it, even if it's not exactly what you've been expecting. It's very possible that what you're seeking and what they're trying to offer aren't entirely aligned, but not because they don't love you. On the contrary, they're trying with everything they have to show you their sincere heart. They want you to accept, understand, and welcome what they're capable of giving right now. They know they can't stay the same forever. They realize that if they don't change, if they don't confront things and speak their truth, they'll lose you. And so, deep within, they're struggling. They have hopes, dreams, desires, but at the same time, a tendency to give up halfway, to compromise, to extinguish those dreams before they've even had a chance to shine. That's why, from the very beginning, they've felt that what they're showing on the outside is not in sync with what they're truly feeling inside. And maybe you haven't fully seen that yet. But remember, 2 Sun cards appeared, an exceptionally rare and meaningful sign, offering a powerful confirmation that their true heart is still reaching toward you. That is the only place they want this light to shine. They are moving toward you, that much is certain. In their heart, you are the one they think of, the one they wish to direct their love to. But at the same time, they are bound to something that doesn't come from their true desire, something that exhausts them, stifles them, and forces them to endure in silence. They may be living in a situation, a role, or a commitment that they no longer truly desire. And because of that, they feel that you haven't fully understood the weight of their heart. They long for your understanding. They want you to know that it's not that they don't love you, but rather, there are so many things they feel deeply, yet still cannot say aloud. What pains them most right now isn't the external circumstances, it's the aching thought, the one I love doesn't truly understand my heart. Alongside that, they're also hoping that you'll be more honest with your emotions. Perhaps the two of you have been through hurt, tension, and misalignment, and because of that, both have been trying to guard their pride. But they no longer want that dynamic to continue. They want to say to you, let's stop being stubborn. Let's stop defending ourselves. We're both being sincere here, aren't we? And then, the final cards emerge, revealing a decision in the making. They no longer wish to remain stuck in an old, tiring, or binding situation. They want clarity. Even if that means letting go of something familiar, they're willing to do so, if it means opening the door to a new beginning between the two of you. They no longer want to live in a halfway connection, or in a reality where their heart doesn't belong. They're yearning to start over, right this time, with you, in a relationship that is real, open, and whole. They no longer want to be tied to the past or to the barriers that have held them back for far too long. And that is the entirety of what their heart is feeling, in this very moment. Thank you for spending your time here. If what I shared offered you a meaningful perspective, or if you simply found it interesting, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button to support me. Wishing you a peaceful and lucky day ahead. See you again in the next reading.